Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Okay, we're going to be jumping into it right here on, of course, 93.5 WVIP and more. My name is David Squeeze Annakie. And of course, we are ready for what we call Cruising with the Case Handler. It's just a few minutes after the hour. We're jumping right into it. Now, what is Cruising with the Case Handler? Cruising with the Case Handler, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be a personal injury show that is hosted by yours truly, David Annakie, and of course, my colleague, the attorney, Adam Handler, the most celebrated attorney where personal injury is concerned in our community. And I'm extremely proud of him. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Of course, everybody knows what's going on right now. It's no secret. It's all over social media. It's all over the world. It's everywhere. And I want to welcome the attorney. We're going to talk about it a little bit, then jump into some personal injury. Adam Handler, how are you doing today, sir?
Good morning, my brother. Good morning. I never thought that I would be doing this show from my home office. You know, we were always cruising with the case handler, and now we're quarantining with the case handler.
Yeah, you're right. I should be saying that, quarantining with the case handler. How are you feeling today, man?
Good. Listen, this mug says it all. See, what does this mug say? You see that? Is it backwards?
It says Ive or something like that.
It says Oy vey.
Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey.
And that means good grief.
This mug says it all.
How? Yeah. I got the Oy vey and you got the Red Bull. Oh my God. But it's been
charger on my headset here, you know.
It's been an interesting couple of days for sure. But we are so productive right now, and I am so incredibly proud of my staff. You know,
and why is that? Expound a bit, Mr. Adam Handler, Mr. Personal Injury Attorney, Mr. Well over $100 million settlement man. You know, tell me a little bit about why you're so proud of your staff.
Well, a smart man years ago told me that no man can do it himself, and you are truly successful when you have excellent people around you. And
Absolutely.
I've always, especially since I broke off, you know, this is the wonderful part about, you know, having your own practice. You know, a little over 5 years ago, I broke off and started my own practice. And I always worked with great people before. But once I was able to do my own thing, I really had control over who I wanted to work with. And in fact, several people that I had previously worked with that, you know, were so wonderful in my department came with me. It was a really special moment. And,
you know,
yeah,
not to interrupt you, but
no, interrupt because it's a great story.
I want to tell you also, you know, you and I share similar stories because about 5 years before your 5 years, 10 years ago, okay, not that much, maybe a little bit less. All right. Similar situation happened where I was literally forced to go in another direction.
I was there. I saw it happen.
I know you saw it. Yeah, I know. Hold on. One second there. I got Zenmar on the other line blazing. You know, so I'm gonna let him know that we're doing a show here. Okay. So. Sorry. See. Can you tell my staff is working? Can you tell everything is like the same here? But as I was saying, you know, Adam, we are in similar situations where we were literally forced to actually, you know, go in a direction that we thought at that time that, oh man, it's the end of the world, you know, whatever, you know, all of that stuff. And we're realizing that we should actually give thanks to that situation, whatever brought around that situation, but your situation continue.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And we've talked about this. You know, sometimes you need to be pushed and you're pushed to greater things. And my staff that works with me right now, it's myself, my associate, Matthew Goodstein, who's not just a friend, but he's a brother. I mean, we live in the same town. We have a similar group of friends. We socialize with each other as much as possible. I mean, I see the guy, you know, every day. So it's kind of hard to say, well, let's do something later. But we get enough in that I know who he is and he knows who I am. And we're an unbelievable team. I have 5 paralegals now. And the point I'm trying to make is that we're all kind of just figuring out how we can, you know, continue the case handler vision, how we can continue the excellent representation of our clients who need us for their one and only shot at financial justice when, God forbid, they're in an accident. And I'm working remotely. Matt's working remotely. He's done some depositions remotely by video conference, working on cases. We've settled cases. I mean, since the quarantine happened, we've already settled probably about $1 million of cases so far. And that's not including the 2.5 million we did last week for that gentleman. And we'll get to that story today. But
and you're practically halfway through almost halfway through what you did last year, which was approximately $25 million. You're a little bit over $10 million already, right?
Yep, we're getting close to the 10. So yes, okay. I have to run the numbers. Actually, I need to do that today because we need to figure out, how we're going to plan ahead, because businesses are really looking at every dollar now, and we are certainly a business.
Absolutely.
But my staff is just incredible, because I'm getting emails, text messages where I spoke to this client. This client was checking in. We called this client just to make sure that they knew that everything is going to be okay. And if they had any questions, they have to get back to us. So I'm doing what I need to do, but they're doing what they need to do. And it's the group effort. It's the collaborative spirit that really will, I know, help our clients and help them achieve that goal of, like I said before, financial recovery, because you only got one shot at this. Even though we're quarantined and the courts are pretty much shut down and the insurance company people are working from home, our clients still have one chance. And I've heard horror stories already about attorneys fearful that their practice may go under, fearful that they may not be able to make payroll, fearful that they may have to close their doors. They're settling these cases for pennies on the dollar just so they can earn their fee and keep their doors open. But where does that leave the client at the end of the day? That leaves the client with a settlement that was not full value, that wasn't full compensation, that wasn't full justice, and that client can never reopen it. I had a client call me a week and a half ago. We talked about this. They were in their lawyer's waiting room saying, my lawyer says I should take $15,000 right now. What should I do? I said, you're calling me. I've spoken to you for a minute. I have no idea about your case. I have no idea about your case. I said, first of all, why didn't you call me? Well, some guy came up to me at the scene of the accident and I said I should go with these guys. That's the first problem. That's the first mistake they made. The second mistake they made was not listening to all of the people on 93.5 who've been endorsing me for years and years as your case handler. So I tried to give him the best advice I could, but I hung up the phone feeling terrible because I knew that he was going to sign on that dotted line. I knew that he was going to follow his attorney's advice. And I don't know. I'm such a perfectionist. Even when it's not my case, Adam, I get anxiety knowing that the job wasn't done perfectly.
You are a super nice guy. You are a super nice personal injury attorney. You want the best for everybody. But I learned a long time ago that we're all human beings. You can bring a horse to the water, but you can't force him to drink. Do you know how many people on this station will listen to 1 million other attorneys on the station? And although they have heard one attorney that's been here consistently for 15 solid years for the community that I have seen with my own eyes have settled millions of dollars for people, okay? And people will still not go in the right direction. And then when they're in that situation, they will pick the phone up and call the right guy. Don't ask me what that is, but we're not knocking them. I hope that people learn from that situation. Ladies and gentlemen, life has taught us that what really matters is experience and depth, okay? Not what your mom is saying, okay? No, go with that guy because I know a friend of his. No, not what the guy is saying, well, that guy down the road is an attorney. Oh, no, go with that guy because that guy, that guy sounds better. Or go with that guy because that guy, I heard this. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you've got this deep down gut feeling inside of you that tells you what is right. Follow that gut feeling. That's what you should follow, because many have done so. And if you take a look at the website, which I'm about to share right now, if you all think I'm screwing around, I'm getting very harsh with some of you right now. I'm not playing around. I'm going to go to the website right now, the case handler. I'm going to show you the proof of this guy right here, because he's not playing around. I'm not bringing anyone on my radio show I'm not bringing anyone on, on this show that is a joker. No, I'm not.
Well, it's
Look
your
at these case
reputation
results.
too. It's your reputation
It's my
too.
reputation also.
And that's
everybody,
and that's, when this whole case handler, I'm cruising with the case handler experiment started, that's what I kept telling everybody. I said, you have to be careful who you're endorsing here, because not everybody is going to treat the job the same way. And you, Squeeze, have always had faith in me. Always.
always from day one.
And that is since day one. And like we said, you're forced to do certain things. You're forced to go in certain directions, but you grow. And
Yes.
I can't stress enough how important it is to get the message out there that not all attorneys are built the same. Not all attorneys are going to work on your file the same way. Not all attorneys are going to care about you as family or as a friend. Not all attorneys are going to hold out for the millions and millions of dollars that you may be entitled to, instead of quick settlements so they can make sure that they can pay for their secretaries to come to work. We handle ourselves at a much different level and a much higher caliber. And I'll add one more thing. There's no out-of-pocket expense to
None.
hire me, right?
None.
I work on a contingency fee, meaning I get paid if and only if I am successful for you. So there's no money out of pocket. So if you have, if upfront there's no cost, why wouldn't you go with who you believe to be the best possible attorney? Why wouldn't you go with who you believe to be the attorney that's going to put you in the best possible position to make sure that your medical bills are paid, your time out of work is paid, and you're fairly compensated for your injury? It blows my mind that you would just listen to whoever is advertising on the radio or advertising on TV or advertising on a billboard.
Or people are running up to you at the scene of the accident.
I don't get it.
Which is illegal.
I don't get it.
Don't do that.
I don't get it. I mean, talk about being the victim twice.
And you only have one. You only have one chance and one choice. You should be their case handler. People, we are just saying to you, for God's sake, and yes, your family's sake and your sake, you need, in my opinion, the right attorney. And I have to disclaim this. I know that Adam Handler is the right attorney. I have seen his track record. I'm looking at it right here at case results at thecasehandler.com. I'm looking at people right now, okay, that's holding up checks. Okay, here's one guy holding up a check for $835,000. Let me go to the next one. Here's another one holding up a check. And I'm just cruising through a few of these. Here's Michael holding up a check for $1.7 million. And mind you, there are people who he has settled checks for $5 million who are not holding up checks because they don't want to be seen. Okay, I mean, if you had a settlement of $5 million, would you put your face on it? People wouldn't,
Stop right there. Stop right there. The Tara W check, $125,000. I took this phone call on Christmas Eve, several years ago. This woman was driving down the road, a police officer, right, with no lights and sirens on, not involved in emergency, decided to run a red light and smash into her, right? Because he felt that, because he's a cop, he can just, drive however he wants to. They start blaming her that she caused the accident. I don't understand how that's possible. She had the green light. We got footage from surveillance showing that she had the green light. We got footage from a store showing that the cop made a sudden turn right in front of her. City of New York paid $125,000 on the case. And why is that important? Because when the cops came to the scene, they all got together and they wrote this phony baloney report that she was at fault. The police report put all the blame on her. And you know what? She probably would have seen that police report and done nothing about it, or brought that police report to another attorney and they said, I can't help you. But we fought for her. We investigated. $125,000 against the city of New York. Now, listen, police officers, we can't do it without them. They're a crucial part of our society. But sometimes, they don't always do the right thing, and you got to be accountable. That's a case I'm really proud of. $125,000 for that woman.
Absolutely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am David Squeeze Annakie. I'm a serial entrepreneur and businessman. Adam Handler is an extremely proficient, qualified attorney and has been doing personal injury for 15 years plus. What we want every single person out there to do is to do the right thing for your sake, okay? For your family's sake, for God's sake, as I always say. I need for you to actually store his number. His name is Adam Handler. He's an attorney, okay, with the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, he's a very charming individual. He's a good person, and he wants to help anyone who gets into an automobile accident, a slip and fall, a construction accident, any kind of accident. Just pick up the phone and call him. Here is the number. Dial the number. He will actually see your number coming up on his phone. He'll be able to see your number, and he will store your number also. So he knows that you are one of his, preferred client, because guess what? You are listening to his show. The number right now to call is 844-774-3529. I want to welcome Kamara. She's tuning in right now. Kamara is a celebrity makeup artist. She's tuning in right now. Okay. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529. Once again, that's 844-774-3529. Anyone who is watching this, who is listening to us on 93.5 WVIP, you only need one attorney when it comes to personal injury. All right. And that is this man, Adam Handler. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, dial the number, let it ring 15, 20 seconds. You never know if and when you're going to get hurt. It's the same way. None of us, not one of us right here, right this second, thought that the world would be in this dilemma. Not one of us thought that the world would be in this dilemma right now, but here we are. So any of us can get hurt at any time. You need to have good legal representation, and that is Adam Handler. Dial his number and store it. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. And ladies and gentlemen, Adam and I, we need for every one of you, he asked me a question yesterday, how you will be notified when we go live. I want for every one of you to subscribe. Subscribe to the Case Handler page. Subscribe to the David Squeeze Annakie page. That is how you will always, every time Adam or myself go live, you will get a notification automatically. It's very, very important for you to subscribe, because no matter how many followers we have, Facebook is not going to push it out to every single follower when we go live. They want to make money, so they don't. They push it out to a small percentage. So the only way to ensure that you actually get us is to make sure that you're subscribing, all right? What Adam and I are going to be doing, we're going to be boosting and sending out some texts here and there to make sure that you know when we're going live and you can join in. Once again, it's all about building, of course, this base and